Quick question. In Java, when you declare a variable as final, and once you assign the value to it, can you change it? Of course, you will say, no, we can't do that because that's immutable. But what if I say you can? See, there's a concept of reflection API. With the help of reflection API, you can change your final variables. That's right, you can change the constant. Now, first of all, why do we need reflection API? Basically, when you build frameworks, let's say if we talk about Spring Framework, where you try to change the behavior of the application, maybe with the help of auto while and all those annotations. So behind the scene, the frameworks are using reflection API. And not just Spring, there are multiple frameworks and libraries. To achieve their goal, they use reflection. And with the help of this deep reflection, you can change the constant. So example, if you see on the screen, this is without reflection. So if you assign a value, you can't change it. But now, if you use a reflection API, something like this, where you're using the field from the reflection package, and you change the value. So here we are printing the value before changing it, and that's the user. With the help of reflection API, when you change it to admin, it is changed now. That's right, you are changing a final variable. Now, this is a problem, right? So from the start of Java, this has been a problem the moment they introduced reflection API. And we wanted to find a solution. See, this does not affect normal developers, but if you are someone who is building the libraries or frameworks, then this is something which you should be concerned about. So in Java 25, everything works well. When you run this, before the values will be user, after you get the admin access. But now in 26, when you try to do that, you will get a warning. I know you are not happy with the warning, you want error. So yes, in Java 26, you will get the warning. In the next version of Java, they will give you, or maybe not exactly next version, but in the future updates, they will give you an error. At this point also, you can get the error if you set it to deny. So the option which you set, so you can say deny. By default, it's not deny. You can set it deny, and then you will get the error. In the future updates, by default, it will be deny. And this is actually a major update for me. I know this 26 is not a LTS version, but whenever you get these beautiful updates, you have to use it. So as I mentioned, this does not concern normal developers, but framework authors, library maintainers, and there can be some security sensitive applications. This is where it will be needed. And why we're talking about this? If you observe, we are talking about Java 26, and that's right. Now we got Java 26 released this week, and there are a lot of updates here. Now, few updates are final version and few updates are still into preview. So we'll not be focusing on the preview part because few of this we have already talked about in the previous version. But let's talk about what you get in the final one. So the first final one is actually the lie about final word, and which we have already discussed about. And to know more about all these updates, I will put a link in description from OpenJDK, and you can get it's a good read. Go through it once. Now let's talk about the second part. See, whenever you get a new update or a new version, it's not always about adding things. Sometimes it's about cleaning certain things which are not required, or maybe it is not getting used. And one of it is, I'm feeling bad saying this, is because I started my career with applets. That's the first project which I built, and now it's no more in JDK. So Applet got deprecated in JDK 9, but in 26, it has been completely removed now. So rest in peace, Applet, but I will miss you. It's not like I'm using it nowadays, but I started my career there. So Applet is basically a way to create web application, and nowadays we don't do that. So if you want to have some forms or buttons on the page, Applet was something we used to use. Okay, I'm not that old, it's just that in my college, we started with applets. Now, there are certain things which directly impact the developers who code, right? And we have talked about those things. But now, what if you want to improve the performance? Yes, you can write the code. You can write the efficient code to improve the performance. But we also have something internally which has been changed. And you as a developer don't have to worry. You will get the speed by default. And we got two updates for this. The first one is the AOT object caching. Now, basically, whenever you load the application, this can be for the cloud. Whenever you load the application, it takes time because when you work with multiple objects, it takes time for the creating the object, booting it up. And to speed it up, now we got AOT for any garbage collector. So it was applicable for some, not applicable for others, but now you will get object caching for any garbage collector, and that will speed up your boot time. And who don't want a faster boot time for any application? Next is something which is important for someone who deals with microservices or working with the networking. We got the update for HTTP. So at this point, we were using HTTP 1, HTTP 2, which uses TCP. And we also have HTTP 3 in the market, but Java, there was no support for Java, but now we got a support for HTTP 3, which works with Quick and UDP. So basically now we can use HTTP 3. It's not by default, you have to set it in the code. So this is how you can set in the code that, yeah, we are using the version HTTP 3 here. Let's talk about one more update for the speed. And this time it is for the G1 garbage collector. So there's an issue with the synchronization. So when you have your application, you got a GC threads and then you got the application threads. And sometimes it takes time for this synchronization between these two. And now with this new update, the synchronization issue will be reduced and it will speed up the application. And again, as a developer, you don't have to worry about all those things. These are the internal changes. So those are the main updates here. But if you see, there are certain things in preview, but we'll talk about them once we get the full version for that, maybe in the upcoming updates. But yeah, Java is getting updated in every 6 months, and now we have Java 26. But don't worry, 25 is still the LTS version, which will be there for a longer time. The only reason I might go for 26 is for the speed up and the support for the HTTP 3. For me, final is not a big issue because I don't work with those type of applications. But if you are working in those fields, focus on Java 26. And let me know which is your favorite update in 26 in the comment section. So that's it from this video. See you in the next part. Bye-bye.